Lug pedals are extremely well known on the road scene, but over the years their off-road presence has been a little bit limited. But now, as you can see, they have a full complement of pedals here, and they're already being represented with some serious off-road clout on the World Cup scene by riders like Maxime Moreau from Cannondale, Sam Gaze and Simon Andreasen of Team Specialized. Now they're also starting to attract the Enduro World Series crowd, and there's quite a few good racers already sporting the pedals like Theo Galley and Kevin McKell. Now stay tuned because we're going to be giving away some of these pedals, but in the meantime I'm going to take you through the whole range. Now the range of Look pedals is actually split into two styles. There's the X-Track and the X-Track Enrage. So first up, let's take a good look at the XC focused X-Track pedals. So the X-Track range is clearly their XC focused pedal. It's a very compact unit and it has been designed with three specific focuses in mind. So there's a lateral contact support there. So what they're aiming there is the maximum amount of pedal body size and contact with the shoe in order to give you good stability on that pedal. The next up is the power to weight ratio. They want them to be basically offer the maximum amount of power through the cranks and through the drivetrain at minimal weight cost. Of course, this is all about XC racing. And the final one is the actual geometry of the mechanism on there. So what they're aiming for is something that's not affected by any sort of surface conditions when you're riding. It's not going to get clogged with mud, stones, grit, gravel, that sort of stuff. It's designed to be a high performance pedal that's going to work in all sorts of demanding conditions. So there are 4 pedals in X-Track range and they all have fundamentally the same features. So they've got an adjustable tension system on the jaws here, so you can have that from soft to firm depending on your preference and your level of riding ability. Now the cleat mechanism, there are 2 styles of cleat on here. There's more like the single release style cleats which just have a simple lateral movement, and then there's a twin style release which you can actually move at a bit of an angle in order to disengage. They're very similar shape to Shimano and some of the other pattern cleats out there, and for good reason. It's a really good shape and it works effectively in all conditions. All of the pedals have steel plates on the top surface here for additional support on the base of the shoes. And they're also designed around XC style shoes. So we're talking 85 to 95 millimeters in width. So they're specifically focused for those narrower shoes to give them the best performance. Now let's go into each of those 4 models and tell you a bit more about them. So first up in the range is the basic X-Track pedal. So it's designed around XC and more recreational use. It's slightly heavier and slightly smaller than the others in the range. Comes in 2 colours. It comes in a dark grey, it's a bit more subtle, quite toned down, or this sort of racing red finish, which I think looks really cool. The body itself is made from aluminium and the axle is Enrage Plus. Keeping it weather sealed is a double lipped seal here, and then underneath, keeping the axle spinning around, is a glide bearing and 2 sets of cartridge bearings on the outside here. Now the surface area of the platform is 350 millimeters squared, and the actual platform of the pedal itself is 57 millimeters wide. So there's quite a lot of support there for an XC style, something a bit more narrow as far as the shoes go. And they weigh 195 grams each. Now the cleats themselves have about 6 degrees of float in them, and the release angle is actually about 13 degrees on there. There's a 2-year warranty for them, and the retail price is just under €47 for a pair with a set of these cleats. Next up in the series is the first of the X-Track race pedals. So it's a slightly bigger pedal. If I'm just to hold it up against the standard X-Track, you'll see it's a wider pedal. It's quite bigger and there's a lot more mud clearance through there too. The actual pedal width is 60mm over that 57, which gives you a 515mm squared sort of real estate on the pedal. The body itself is a composite construction, so it's lighter as well. Now it's also got the same axle system on there. It's got the double lip seal on the inside here with that glide bearing, and you've got the 2 sets of cartridge bearings on the outside. This thing is built to last, it's built to rotate nice and smoothly all the time. As you can see, there's a lot of daylight through the pedal body itself here, through that mechanism. It's not going to be influenced by mud and other stuff. It's just going to push through when you go to clip in. It's really well thought out, and you can see it's got a sort of bit of an XC pedigree to it. I've seen Sam and some of the other racers riding these pedals in some pretty demanding conditions. Not seen them having to bang their feet to clear those cleats out at all. So it definitely shows that it does work. Now, something that you can also see on the top of the body here are these steel plates. They're designed to give the shoe a little bit more stability on that platform. Of course, because the body is made from composite, having that steel plate on the top really does accentuate the fact you can get all that power down. Again, they want to emphasize the fact it's about a power to weight ratio, and these are designed to get the maximum amount of power down and keep that weight down. Weight for these is 182 grams per pedal, and they come as a set of pedals with a set of cleats and that 2-year warranty. 2-year warranty is fixed across all of the X-Track range. And these particular pedals retail for just under €60. And next up, as you might have figured, is the slightly more high-end carbon-bodied version. Now, this is a model of pedal that I've seen, and I've seen this on a few bikes now on the World Cup scene. But in particular, Sam Gaze has got these on all of his bikes, and also Simon Andreasen as well. And the pedal looks really good, and they both reported really good sort of feedback on these pedals. Now, the carbon body does mean they're slightly lighter than the others, so these are 174 grams each, but the performance is still there. It's got the same 60mm width on there and the same 515mm square real estate. It's got that same axle system with the double-lipped seal, the glide bearing there, and the twin cartridge bearings on the outside. It's all about performance with these pedals, but it's just starting to minimise the weight as you go through the range. Now, there is also a titanium axled version, like a super high-end version, and they're only 150 grams each. There is a price penalty for that though, because titanium, as we know, is very hard to work with. It's a very premium part of the range there. So this model retails for just under €100 at $99.90, whereas the titanium axle version are nearly double the price. They're just under €200. But still, as far as power to weight ratio goes, they're the highest out there in the XC pedal market. Now, next up in the X-Track range are the Enrage series of pedals. Now, these are more focused at the hard hitting riders, those that favour trail or enduro style racing. Now, with the two pedals, there are some slight differences. So you've got the X-Track Enrage and you've got the Enrage Plus. So the Enrage has got a 63mm wide body, and the Enrage Plus has got a 67mm wide body, and it's also got additional pins on there. But there are some other significant differences between them. However, the same message is there with the pedals. They've got to have the best power to weight ratio. They've got to offer the clipping in mechanism that's not hindered by mud. There's a lot of daylight through here, really well designed. They've also got a maximum amount of real estate for the size of pedal that they are. So they're 564 and 664mm squared respectively. Now let's take a look at X-Track Enrage. So first up of the two Enrage pedals is the stock X-Track Enrage. Now this is more of the trail focused pedal. It's a very neat, very slimline pedal. It's got a narrow Q factor of 53mm on here. The body itself is 63mm wide, and the body is made from aluminium, and it's got the same chromoly axle that you see on the rest of the range. Got the double-lipped seal on there, it's got the glide bearing, and it's got the double row of cartridge bearings on the outside. It's designed very much to be a fit and forget pedal. It's going to cope with all the rock strikes and all the demands of hard trail riding that you might imagine. As with the other XC focus pedals, you've got the steel plates on the top here to both support the shoe and give you a real good power to weight ratio there. It's also got nice sort of traction pads on the side, so if you don't manage to clip in a situation, the sort of flat sections you get on the bottom of trail focus shoes are going to adhere really well to those pedals. And the wings on the front and the rear of the pedal here are designed to ward off rock strikes. The cleats are the same as you see on the rest of the series of pedals. They've got a 6 degrees of float and a 13-degree release angle, and of course there's two cleat styles. There's a single style release that just release laterally, and then there's those with a multi-release that kind of release at an angle as well as laterally. So perhaps if it's your first time riding clipless pedals, the second option might be better for you. There's adjustable tension as with all of the other pedals in the range, and overall I think it looks like a really, really good pedal. There's plenty of clearance in here for mud, plenty of clearance for stones and all the other sort of debris that you're likely to get out in the mountains when you're riding and racing, and overall construction looks A1, I'd say. Finally, there's 554mm squared sort of real estate on the top of the pedal, and they weigh in at about 210 grams per pedal. As with all the others in the range, they come with a set of pedals, a set of cleats, and you're good to go. There's a 2-year fixed warranty across all of the Look, X-Track and Enrage pedals. These particular ones retail for just under €60, making them a bit of a bargain. And finally is the Mac Daddy of the range. This is the X-Track Enrage Plus. So this is focused around enduro racing. And as you can see, the pedal body itself is quite a bit bigger. It's also made from much stronger forged aluminium, and that can be up to 4 times stronger than regular die-cast aluminium bodies. It's completely designed around being able to take and withstand regular rock strikes, and it's designed around a much bigger shoe as well, 105 to 115mm wide. The Q factor on these is 57mm wide, so bigger than that 53 of the regular bodies. And the reason for that is for that better stance when you're riding really fast and aggressive terrain, much more like a downhill stance pedal. The body itself is 67mm wide, so again the real estate is bigger on this. It's 664mm squared. But let's take a look at a bit more detail on the pedal body. So as you can see, the leading wing actually has some pins in here which are adjustable in height, and you can take them out if you don't want them, if they give you too much grip. But having that extra grip on your shoe really does make a significant difference. And you can also see some really trick CNC machining on the side of the pedal body here. As with all of the X-Track range, they've been designed to work in mud and not get clogged up with all of that sort of debris you're likely to find out on the trail. Plenty of fresh air through here and a very trick looking body. They come in 2 colours. They come in a dark grey and also come in this really cool bronze finish, which I think just looks amazing, really stylish. And it really emphasises the traction pads on the top here alongside those steel plates for that additional support on the shoe. As with the other pedals, it's got a chromoly axle on there. It's got a double weatherproof seal. It's got the glide bearing and it's got the double row of twin cartridge bearings on the outside here. They weigh in at 225 grams each, which, considering how strong and how robust the design of these are, I think that's a really, really good weight. They come with that same 2-year warranty as the rest of the pedals in the series, and they retailed for just under €100 for a pair, and of course that comes with the cleats as well. So there you go, that is the Look, X-Track and X-Track Enrage series of pedals. So we have 2 sets of each of these pedals to give away, so you could win 1 of 12 sets of pedals in total. So to enter the competition, look in the link below this video. Get clicking away, and good luck to everyone that enters. I hope you get the pedals that you want. As always, click on the round globe to subscribe to GMBN and GMBN Tech. We love having you around. And if you love Look pedals, give us a thumbs up.